any problem on these things that we have done and that I've not recorded it, you can tell me, I can record another one. Alright? And I can still send it to you. Okay? But so far, is there any problem? We don't have any challenge? There's a spacing at the end. Okay.
It's easy to project a lot of spaces at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, most of the times you might not need to. But if you have to, there is a way. Because you just have to run the formula. Whether it is there, it's not there. Just run the formula for the sake of caution. But if you have to, there is a way. Now the way, you go into the customizations of Excel. If I go under File here, then I go to Options. Under Options, I go to, let me see, is it Proofing? Just a moment, I'll find it. Thomas, can you remember where it is? Where it has to show the characters. Okay. That's in general. Showing hidden characters. Hidden characters, I've remembered. Hidden characters. Jesus Christ. Anybody who knows and save us some time. Have you seen all these things like Shaw, Betty Ko, Shan? Yeah, those. Sir, did I show you that time? They didn't show you, but probably you forgot it, so you said no.
No, I was just revising those videos.
Okay, I'll take time to check it, but it should be in some of these options. where you can be able to show hidden characters, then I'll be able to just remind me, right? Remind me tomorrow, right? Yeah. Then for the sake of time, right? Okay. But there is a way. Okay? Most of the things there is always a way. Okay. So I've shown you how you remove empty spaces and stuff like that. Now, there's another thing that you always face in data. That is duplicates. You mostly find yourself in a situation whereby you have to deal with duplicates. People enter data at the same times, especially when you're transferring data from a sheet. You might enter it twice, or you are probably people have gone to collect data. They're doing a survey. Now another person gets into another like this person has been designated a region, and the other person another region. So as you are collecting data, you have got a border. So probably cross over and get data from your friend. You create a duplicate. Now, how do you deal with duplicate values? Now, when it comes to duplicate values, you have an easy way of dealing with it. If you are dealing with data which is like in a table, it is easy. When I just click, before I do that, let me first mention this. When it comes to data, you've got unique keys that hold each data. Special key. When it comes to national data, at national level, not at the like national level, your NRC is your unique identity, isn't it? When it comes to financial data, when it comes to PACA, your TP is your unique identity, isn't it? Okay. At school, your student ID is your unique identity. Why? Because they know that there is data which duplicates. You can't run away from it, like names. Those ones they duplicate. The courses that you are taking, those they duplicate. But when you give it a unique ID, that it cannot duplicate. But there are cases whereby one person has been given two IDs. There was a point that we were doing some analysis for the students here, like the whole data set, 31,000 students. You would find one person has got two NRCs, two NRCs, but they're the same person. All the data is okay. At times you find that one person has got two computer numbers. All those are glitches in the system. You get the point? Like during entering of data. But now, how are you able to find it? If you say, I want to search by the unique ID, it will still give you a unique ID and no duplicate. But yet, a person has got two IDs and is a duplicate. You get it? So, there is a way where you can be able to search by a record. Is a record a duplicate? Come on. Is the record a duplicate? To search whether the record is a duplicate, I just come to data. Under data there, I just click in my data set. Then I come here where it says remove duplicates. So if I click here, remove duplicates, have you seen, it has already seen my boundaries of my data. Now, it is giving me the columns which I have. I've got year, album, artist, January, all those. These are the titles which I have. So, these titles, all of them, they have been ticked, which means that's the full record of the student. Now, if I want to remove my unique ID, probably my unique ID was on top here, and in this case, probably it was the year. I can remove it to remove the unique ID, so that I can find a record which is a duplicate. So in this case, I'll just leave it, then I'll say, okay. So it's going to run based on those which has been ticked. When it runs, it tells me one duplicate found. You see that one? Which means a duplicate value has been found. But right now, I can show you this. But as we go on, I'll show you how you can highlight the duplicate values, because you don't just want to say a duplicate found has been which duplicate. You need to know this is the shadow. Because at times when you do that, you get those duplicates, you send them back to the data collectors or to whoever it might be for them to be able to check them out. At times you can consider it a duplicate, but actually they wanted it to be that way. You never know. Alright? So every time you're dealing with data, I forgot to mention this at the very beginning. When you're given a data set, boom, before you do anything on the data, before you even do anything, copy the data, create a backup. When you create a backup, when you make any mistake in your data analysis, probably you do something and you're unable to recover back, you can still fall back on the data set that you made a duplicate. Now, when you're creating a duplicate, every milestone you make in your data analysis, back up the data set, put it aside. The reason is that you can make a milestone and you're okay up to this level, and it took you time to get that level. Then you make a mistake afterwards. If you didn't back up at this stage, which means you have to fall back to the previous one. So, these are things that will save you. Okay? So, this is the duplicate value that we have found, and I think it's on 507. He told you it. Sorry. Duplicate found and 507 unique values remain. So if I say OK, that duplicate value is removed. But as we go on, I'll show you how you can write a formula to highlight first before you remove the duplicates. There is one formula which you can use when you're only dealing with only unique values. It's not a formula, but it's conditional formatting. We have used that before, right? Yes, we have, but we'll still do it, right? Okay, so I don't have a unique here, but I'll just create, okay? I'll just create a set. Okay, if I say 1A, enter, and I say 2A, okay, and if I come here, no, it's not giving me what I want. Okay, so instead of having 1 8, I put 2 8s there. Have you seen? These are unique identification IDs, right? So we've got 2 8s. So I come here, I just highlight this, then I come to, where do you find conditional formatting? Home. Then under home, you see this side, conditional formatting. Then you go to highlight rule. Then you go to duplicate. Have you seen that the duplicate values have been highlighted? So those are your duplicate values highlighted, and now you can be able to deal with them. Now, the other thing is this: when you find your duplicates, you've got thousands of records. Now this is when now you enforce filtering in data. You can filter your data so that all the data which has been highlighted, which are duplicates, they come up. When they comes up, you can quickly copy that data, put it on a different sheet. What time is it? This is 17:14. Okay. We can do filtering and sorting of data. Okay? So, when you pick up that data, you put it on a different sheet. This now leads us into the filtering of data. Alright? Filtering and sorting out of data. Okay, so now we have found that there is this duplicate. We say, okay. Now the good thing is this. When this rule, you can leave it. When new data comes in and it is a duplicate, for instance, I come and I say, this is 15. I've changed that one to 15. Because 15 is there down, automatically, it finds it as a duplicate. So it's quickly highlighted. Okay? So I'm going to start our filtering. To sort and filter data, you come here. You click on that filter button. You have turned on the filtering. It's now active. Okay? Have you seen what has happened after we click the filter? Okay. So now when I come here, I can click on this and say I want to filter by a special technique, color technique. I'm filtering the data using the color technique. So, filter by color here. Because remember, we said highlight this color to duplicates, isn't it? So, I'm filtering by that technique. When I come here and I say that all my data, which are duplicates, they are brought up. So this is all the data which I have, which are duplicates. Now, when I have got this data, if I don't know what to do, because I don't want to emotionally change this data, I don't know what to do. What I'll do is that I'll just copy this data. When I copy it, I create a new sheet, or I can create a new file. I go and paste it. Then I can send this data to the people who are collecting data to say, I've got this data which is duplicate. Kindly check. Then give me a feedback. So at this point, you might not be able to go on with your data analysis. Why? Because this is part of your data. It's also depending on how much data you have. So, and it depends also on these things at times, they depend on what you want to do with the data. So, if some data is missing, there is no problem. You can still go ahead and you can be able to do it depending on how the margin. If not, you can be able to use some data analysis techniques which will be taught in SPSS, like inferring data. You check out the trend of data, where it's coming from, what was the trend. Then if you look at the person that's got features as that which was correctly answered nicely, you can still be able to further this data. Things like that. Okay? So that's on the part of data filtering. The data filtering. So far, how we do? Is it understandable? Or is it something that you're saying, wait, this thing is tough? Like, a diamond. Hey, me, I wanted something simple. Is anybody lost? Give me feedback. Am I giving you too much? Or am I giving you less and I'm boring you? I should upgrade.
It's fine. It's a movie.
Okay, the pace is okay. All right. For others, okay. So, but one thing which I was saying that if you've got any challenge, you're dealing with any challenge, as long as you were part of this class, you can come over. I can still be able to assist you even after class, even after this course is done. What I want you to look at is find real life situations that you can be able to apply this knowledge to. You can come over and I can be able to assist you. Actually, you might not even need to come over. You can do it online. You get the point? I save you time. The time to drive to my office is the time which we can utilize to learn just there and then. Okay? If you have any question, please, I would advise you ask it in the group or create a separate group. You can be able to ask the question, then you can be able to deal with it. If you have got any question after you revise. So far, what was your favorite point? I like that feature. I didn't know about it, but that feature really will help me at my work, or that one I think I found it interesting. Is there any feature that you can be able to point out? Duplicate. It's easy, huh? Just and it's done. Huh? What? Oh, removing empty cells, blanks. Oh, I get it. Get it. Yeah. That feature has got more features there, you saw. And you can utilize them. Just go and try them out. So now I send it, I'm waiting for feedback. As I'm waiting for feedback, let's do other things, right?
How do you send it?
Yeah?
How do you send it from one computer to another?
No, I was creating a real life scenario of saying I've sent this to somebody who's supposed to. Then now we are back, let's continue as we are waiting for the feedback. Okay. Alright. So we had copied this data. Now, after I've done that, I want to remove the filter. To remove the filter, I can come here and just click and say clear filter from I. It is removed. That's how you clear the filter. Now, there are a couple of filters which you can do. Number filters and everything. I think I'll start with the number filtering because people understand numbers faster. So you see that these are the sales which were being made. Now you take yourself to be a sales agent. Okay? Now you are analyzing this data which was for sales agents. Now you are saying that we are going to give bonuses to the top 10 sales personnel. Then they've given you that there are 507 sales personnel. How do you know the top 10 sales agents? You use filters, isn't it? Great. What do we do, sir? What do we do here? Still filter them in descending order? Okay, that's correct. That's correct. But there's another way. Alright? Okay, we'll filter them in descending order, then we'll also, we can say, that is sorting. You can sort this from smallest to largest, right? It's just like doing A to Z, right? Okay, so you have known what to happen, right? Okay, so but now let me show you the other way you can be able to do this. You go under number filters, right? Under number filters, you go to top 10. You click on top 10. Here you can change top 10 to top 5, top 20, top what? It's your choice. Okay? You can choose what top you want to do. Then you come here and say, okay, so all the top 10 sales agents, they are filtered here. You see that you've got 69, 110, 130. Have you seen the numbers here? Yeah. So these are your top sales agents, top 10 sales agents here. These are the ones. Then what you just do, you come and highlight this data. So you can come, okay, doesn't matter. You can highlight this data, copy it, then send it to the people who have requested for it. And say, those are your top sales agents. Now, at times, you are the data analyst, you are not allowed to send certain information to, depending on the clearance level of others, right? So you have to make sure that you remove the columns which are not supposed to be there. So that when you're sending information, you only send information that you want. Okay? So that's one thing. So you can just send the names and probably the amounts. These are your top 10 sales agents. Then they'll say, we want to fire all those who performed below, all those below 50. Like the 50 bottom, the bottom 50, right? You can still do that. Isn't it? You know what to do, huh? So I'm going to clear the filter. So now, if I want to find the average, I can still find the average, I can do different analysis. Now I'm going to show you different things that you can be able to do, then you can be able to go and do them. So you can be able to do equals to, does not equal to, greater than. So if you say, I want those who are greater than 22 million, those who sold greater than 22 million, which means 22 million flats is out of the picture. When you're saying greater than 20 million, you get that one? So it's out of the picture. So it's 22 million plus. That's the data that you receive. Okay? You make these small mistakes, they are caustic, huh? Okay. Less than, you get it, less than or equal to, between. You're saying between numbers. All those which sold in between these numbers. You'll be able to get the data. Below average, above average. So those who did below average, you'll be able to say. Because at times when you are, let's say for instance, it was a recruiting exercise. You gave them a task to do. So you're only accepting those above average. So you just do that analysis, when you get those above average. And those below average, say, try next time. Okay? Any questions so far? These things you try them, right? They work. We tried one, it worked, isn't it? The other ones also work. So try them when you go home. Any question up to this point on filters? Number filters. This one was actually on number filters. I've shown you how you can filter using color. Now you can filter using numbers. Now we're going to do filtering using text. Alright? Alright. So let's try to use probably artist. So I come under artist and I'm told, give me all the records for the Beatles. The Beatles or You remember the mic? Aha. Okay, so I want to filter all the records for the Beatles. Only the Beatles. So I just come here, then I say deselect all. I can come here, deselect all. Then I can come here and search, because there are a lot of them. Then I can say the Beatles. This is the one here, isn't it? I thought I deselected everything. Okay. So I get the Beatles only. Only. When I click like that, or I have the artist of the Beatles. So you can have all their genres, these and what, all those. You have filtered your data. What we're doing, this same filtering which we're doing, is data analysis itself. You getting the point? Yeah. This is data analysis already. Then if you want to change, you can still change, select another one. So you can say, I only want the Beatles with another one or another one, just by ticking there, isn't it? Just tick. That's the thing. Then we clear the filter here. Now, there is filtering data using partial text. Partial text, like partial, part of something. Okay? So at times you may not even be able to remember properly this and this or something. Or you can say, okay, I want to filter everything which has got there. Alright? So everything which has got there will be filtered. So I'll come here and I'll say text filter. And I'm saying equals to, right? Equals to there. What? Okay. Case sensitive. Equals to, no, not equals to, contains. Okay? Equals must be exact. Okay? So you can change it even from here. Say, does not equal to, is greater than, no, not there. You can come here, clear filter, come there, text, contains. Okay? What does it contain? There. Let's say okay. So everything that contains there is filtered. So everything you see here contains there. Either at the beginning, at the end, or what, something that has to have there. Okay? Alright. So for instance, if you're filtering churches, Catholic churches, you just search for sent. So it will, all the Catholic churches will come. Alright? What else? Let me see. So now you'll be able to go and do this, right? You've got does not equal to. Does not equal to. At times this one has got a psychological impact. When you say it does not equal to, when you type it in, it will bring you everything that is not there. You'll be like, I said this, but when you say it does not equal to, what you have searched for is what will be hidden. And what you did not search for is what will be shown. That's what happens when you say it does not equal to. Begins with, at the beginning, he has got this. Ends with, at the end, it has got this. It does not contain, which means this is not contained in that. Okay? Question? Any question? I'm removing the filter. So you see that filtering of data, it hides data and brings only what you are looking for. But sorting out of data, it rearranges the data. You are sorting data A to Z or Z to A. You're sorting out the data. Or biggest to smallest or smallest to biggest. That's sorting out of data. When you're sorting out data, it's just here on top. Here. Sort data A to Z. Sort data is. Then you can sort data by color. I've shown you this stuff. At this point, no question? Okay. Let me show you some more tricks that can save your life. We were searching for blank records. That one is not a blank record. It's a blank cell. But what we searched for was the whole record must be blank.
Now my question is, then you say, don't leave the top 10 cells and then we're looking at that number. We're looking at it's a G.
Yes.
It brings all the top 10 also blank out.
Oh, okay, yeah, on this point, now this is the part whereby you can be able to search by column to say, is there a blank space in here? So there are times when they miss out some names. You get the point? There are times when they miss out their names. But you can check for this. You can do the filtering by blanks to have all those blank names. But you can't do you can't do a formula that will show you a blank here. No, you can do it, but it will be very long. Okay, a formula which will show you a blank here and another blank which is there and there, just like that. You get it? Yeah. But you can do it as at an individual level where you can be able to say all the blanks here highlighted, then you bring them up. You filter them up. Do you get it? Yeah. You can just do it for an individual. And at times when it's about also knowing your data. This is what I'm saying. Some of the cleaning techniques that you're going to do is depending on what type of data that you want to do. What results you want to get at the end. What will be your key points in dealing with this data? There are a lot of more which we can do. Other data analytics, they would require this data to be in capital letters. So everything has to be in capital letters. Others, they would require that you separate the first name from the last name. We will do that. You can be able to separate. You're given a full name, you separate. The other ones, they will require that you combine things and what. So what you want to do will determine what you're supposed to do. But there are general things that you need to do at times to data. Okay? So some of these things you'll be able to do them. I'll be showing you bit by bit. Okay. Where was I? Oh, I wanted to show you some more tricks. Right? Okay. So when at times you are involved in the process of data collection, you may be privileged to do some of the few things to allow them collect data appropriately. So there are some restrictions that you can put in order to avoid things like where somebody's supposed to put a phone number, they put a reg number. You've faced those situations before. So these kind of things can be avoided by putting some small restrictions. Come on. So what I've done so far is what we can be able to do in data cleaning without doing some formulas and everything. Right? There are other things that are there which we're going to use formulas in order for you to do data cleaning. but I wanted to separate formulas from this. So let's go to a different sheet. Let's create this sheet. Okay. So now I find myself in a situation that we have created a questionnaire. The questionnaire is saying you have to enter the name, the phone number, you have to enter the NRC, you have to enter what? Okay, let's just do this 3. Okay. Now what I would do is this, is that I'll push this, just dragging this there, just click, I'm just clicking in the cell, in the outer cell, I'm dragging it there. Okay, so here somebody's supposed to put the name, phone number, and NRC. Okay, so they can start to enter their data. So before you, in Excel, when you want to make it easier for you to enter data, you can activate the form in Excel, right? So how do you activate this form? For me, it is already here. I just click on form. Sorry. Okay. So when I just click like that, it gives me name, phone number, and NRC. I can enter my details here. John, blah 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 blah. NRC. Da 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 da. Then I say next. You see that data is entered quickly. Now this is important when your column is long, which you are entering data on. Okay? You've got a lot of points that you're entering data. So you can create this form quickly just to facilitate entering of data. It helps, it avoids a number of errors. Right? Any question at that point? Yes. Correct. So how do you get there? You go into File, you go into Options, then you go to Customize Ribbon, then you go to All Commands under here. Click on All Commands. Now you have all the commands in Excel. The entire of Excel commands, they are here. So remember that these ones are arranged in alphabetical order, right? Or in a descending order. So I'll go for B, blank, blank. Where is blank? Anyone was in blank? Oh, it's not blank. What was that? Form, right? Form. Jesus. Form. Oh, okay, it's just there. Have you seen it? So this is the one. So if you want, you can move this form. Let me come here. For instance, if I wanted to come to the home, I can push it into the home. Let's see. Where is the form? Okay. It has refused to go to home, which will lead me to show you something you can do. Right? This is, you can create a new group. Have you seen they've got tabs? Like you've got the home, insert, what. You can create your own tab where you can be able to put tools that you want to be using. Right? So you come here and say new tab. Okay. Madam, your name? Faith? Okay. the group, we'll give it like that. Oh, group rename to ICT. Okay, I hope you're seeing what I'm doing. Okay, so when you're done with that, now I can move this to that group. The form has been moved to the new group. So this is a tab here. This faith here is tab. ICT is a category. And I've moved this to the form to that category. So I'll come here and say OK. Alright? Let's look for faith. Can we find faith? Is faith anywhere?
Yes.
So, you can click there. Have you seen? Under ICT, your form there. So when you do that, you can just click on that, then that is created. Okay. So after doing that, now we want to create some few rules to say, in here, when you're entering a phone number must be how many digits? 10 digits, right? So somebody must not put anything less than 10 and must not put anything above. A single missing digit in a phone number is hard to recover or practically impossible. Isn't it? You don't know where it is. Okay? And you're dealing with 10 digits. Okay, so we want to create a rule to say that the numbers must not be above 10 and must not be below 10. So in any time somebody enters anything apart from 10 digits, you should tell them no. How do we do this? First thing we have to do is this. Phone numbers, they start with 0, right? So we have to customize this or to change them. We have to change the somebody help me. What do we do to change this? I go to general. What do I do at general? What do I do? What do I do? Huh? I click on the down arrow, then I come and choose text. Text. Down arrow, come down, text. Then if I come here and say 0974887728, if I press enter, the 0 will still be there. Okay? So you highlight the cells that you want to change the format. Okay? Are we together? Who have I lost? Sir, are we together? Madam, we're together. You are here to stop me when you're not clear. You are here to say, no, stop! There. Okay? Alright. So we have done that. So since we have done that, we have already customized this place. So we're going to say, we want to, these cells here, we want to change them. We want to, the data input, we have to add some data validation to it. So the validation of data, we click there for data validation. You've seen when we clicked it, we go to the data tab, then you go to data validation. Okay? You remember where we had gone to do duplicates, right? Yeah, the same tab, data, then under there you've got data validation. Then here, it's saying that in the cells, should I allow anything to be entered? But we don't want anything to be entered. We want something to be entered. So we'll create what you call text length. On the text length, we are saying the text, should it be between or should be equal to something? It's supposed to be equals to, right? So we are saying it should be equal to 10. We enter the 10 there. Then we just say, okay. Now remember, before I say okay, where you highlight, that's where the rule will apply. If you do not highlight, that cell which is as in Excel, it's impossible to stay without highlighting something. Right? So wherever that cell is, active cell, that's where this rule will apply. You understand that point? Okay. So I say, okay. Now let's try it out. Phone number is this. Then I press enter. It has refused to go through. Because we entered the data validation rule. Yes, sir. A text? Okay. So I'm saying cancel this. We'll say what else should I try? Oh, 10. Yeah, it will accept.
Exactly, that's my point. It shouldn't accept
letters. Now, at this point, what you have there is only it would have to take not necessarily a formula, but you would have to write it in VBA. It's a language in itself. Now, VBA is another playground. It's a programming language. Okay? So you would have to write it in VBA to say, this must not equal to number. It must not equal to text and what. Okay? Alright. But you know, the difference or like the gap between someone entering a wrong number by entering an equivalent text, the odds are quite, you know, so you have that chance of saying, okay, you reduce the what? The errors. So if you put the right number here, 097488778, it will be able to accept. Okay. Okay, so you have known how to do data validation using text length. I'm going to show you one more, then the other ones I think you'll be able to do them. You're able to do equal to, right? You can do between, isn't it? Between you can be able to do, or less than or something like that. And let me show you another one, which will be, for instance, you've got another cell here which says region. Okay? So probably you've got your regions which is Lusaka, Kamwala, Chazanga. Okay, you've got 3 regions. So all these people that you are entering, they are coming only from 3 regions. If they are not from any of these regions, they are not qualified. Okay? So to avoid people entering any other thing apart from these 3 regions, you can be able to create what you call a drop down. So people will just be able to click, select. They don't type. Alright? It's another way of reducing data errors. So to do that is to do the same thing. Highlight where that rule will apply. You go to data, validation, come here where it says list. Okay? Under list, it's asking you for the source. What's the source of that data? There are 2 ways you can do this. You can enter the data from inside here by saying Chazanga, comma, Don't put a space, just put comma, then Lusaka, comma, then there was Kamala. Okay, when you do that, you just say okay. When you say okay, when I come to one cell, have you seen there is this comma box here? So I can just click on it. I have my options. So I can come and select Lusaka. It will pick it up. Kamala, it will pick it up. Okay? Does it make sense? Have you understood it? No, but if you haven't understood it, it's fine. I know I'm giving you a lot of information right now. You can still go back. That's why it's important to go and revise. Okay? Go and revise. Trust me when I say that if you don't revise these things, the next class will be lost. You'll be asking me questions that you have already done. And I don't answer questions that you've already done. Okay? So make sure you go through this. All right. I showed you that you can be able to do this, but there's another way which you can be able to do it. Let me just create a set there. Then this is second region. Then here, I'm going to pick up from a list. So to pick up from a list, I highlight, then, sorry, it copied the format. Copy the format. But now I can take advantage of this to show you how to remove any validations. So data validation. When I come here, I can send it back to any value. Then it's able to remove that. Have you seen that? Okay, so I highlight, I come to data validation, and I come here and I say list, then I'm going to pick up a source. So I click on this to pick the source. My source is here. Have you seen that? So I'm picking from a cell, an already existing list. So if I pick up that, and I come and click on that, just pick the cell reference, then I can come and say OK. So I can come here, then pick my. Have you seen how I didn't notice that I wrote Lusaka like that? But when you do this, you avoid such kind of errors. You see that? There are two ways you can be able to do it. And the advantage of this is that you can also come and update here. If you made a mistake like that, you can come and update and put, okay, that. But that one, you have to go back into the formulas. That's a challenge on its own. Okay? You're able to do that. So far, how is it? Does it make sense? Okay. We're just breaking the ground. Tomorrow we'll continue. Probably the first 30 minutes we'll just do bits here and there, the formulas, so to finish up. Please.
Where you make this format, what is it about another column on that? I don't want to see what the is.
You don't want to see.
And option I is in that column, or is that also like I can delete but still be able to like drop down and keep whatever.
One thing which I would be able to advise is this. When you want to pick data, you can put it on a different sheet. Okay? So this data, I can come and create a new sheet here. This is where I can pick up the pickup point for this data. Such that when I come here, my reference point won't be here, but I have to come to this and select my reference point, PAM. So it will be on a different sheet, which you will not touch And that sheet, if you want, you can hide it, such that no one messes up with it. Yeah. Does that help?
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Okay. Any question? We are 1 minute away. Was it too long or was it too short? Or we should be doing 1 hour? Question? I was excited. I said the question is coming. Yes. Well, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I would advise. I know. Okay. I know we have got different schedules, but I usually advise that probably an hour after class, you can just quickly run through. Because if you try to put in the next day, trust me, this day, another day has got its own troubles. So try to leave the next day intact, then try to go through. Because when you go through today, it will be like a quick refresher. But we have got different schedules. Try to, but I usually advise today. No problem. No problem. Tomorrow will be okay. All right. Anything? Okay. Hmm? Sorry? Yes. No, there are two times here. There is when you're doing only ICT. When you're doing only ICT, it's from 17 hours to 18:30. Okay? When you're doing data analysis has got 2 components. You've got Excel and you've got SPSS. This week we are dealing with Excel. That time is from 18:30 to now. Okay? I don't know what now is. All right. The gentleman behind there. Yeah, please just do that as quick as possible because these names need to be sent for processing of the certificates. Okay. The videos? This is the